CIET NCERT presents Audiobook of Mathematics for Class 5 entitled MATHMAGIC 5. This is the Chapter 5.
Part 1.
Page 71. Does it look the same? Let's make patterns from a drop of color. Below this we have the picture of a girl who is showing us two different patterns, pattern A and pattern B. She says to us, "I have made these patterns from a drop of color. You can make them too." Make your pattern. Take a sheet of paper, fold it into half. Open the fold and put a drop of color on the middle line. Fold it twice and press it to spread the color. Open it and see a beautiful pattern. We see this entire activity with the help of pictures. Can you cut this pattern in such a way that you get two similar mirror halves? In how many ways can you do it? Page 72. Look at this pattern. A boy is showing a pattern in a picture which has a dotted line running in the middle vertically. The dotted line divides the shape into two halves. But if you fold it along the dotted line, the left half does not cover the right half completely. So the two halves are not mirror halves. On the right side of the page we see the picture where the pattern has been folded along the dotted line, and we can see that the two halves are not mirror halves because the left half is not covering the right half completely. Now look at another shape. If you fold it along the dotted line, one half will cover the other similar half completely. So the two here are mirror halves. Below this we have the picture of a boy who is holding a triangular pattern. A dotted line is running again through the middle of it vertically. This time when it is folded along the dotted line, in the picture to the right we see that yes, these are the two mirror halves, because one half is covering the other similar half completely. Now imagine the same for these pictures. Below this we have the picture of a girl with a purse. The purse has a pattern drawn on it with a dotted line running in the middle vertically. The second picture is of a boy in some water body holding and playing with a star shape. Again, there's a dotted line running in the middle vertically. For the teacher. On the next page, children need to understand that even though the shape is symmetric, the color scheme of the figure can make it asymmetric. For example, in shapes 10 and 12. Encourage children to look for asymmetry based on the shape as well as the color scheme. Page 73. Here we have about 15 different figures drawn out. Each of the figures has a dotted line running in the middle of it. In some it is vertical, in some horizontal. Which shapes are divided into two mirror halves by the dotted line? Page 74. Mirror games. 1. Here is a picture of a dog. You can place a mirror on the dotted line. Then the part of the dog to the right of the line will be hidden behind the mirror. What you will see is like A. There is a picture drawn of the dog in a particular pattern and a dotted line running vertically. And if we place a mirror on the dotted line, what we see is shown in the figure A. Below this, there is a white square in which another figure is there. It has a dotted line running vertically as well as another dotted line running horizontally through it. Look at the figure in the white box. On which of the dotted lines will you keep the mirror so that you get shape B? Also tell which part of the picture will be hidden when we keep the mirror on the dotted line. There is a picture B which shows the picture of the figure in a different way. You have to guess how to get that picture by placing the mirror on one of the dotted lines. Page 75. Now make a line on the white box to show where you will keep the mirror to get the picture next to it. Below this we have pictures C, D, E and F. You are supposed to tell where the mirror should be kept every time to get the desired picture. Page 76. 2. Venki has made a red and white shape. Make a line on the white box where you will keep a mirror to get that shape. Look at how the line is drawn in the first box to get the picture next to it. Below this we see the picture of Venki and his red and white shape in a box. The box is white box, and you are supposed to tell where you will keep the mirror to get a desired particular shape. Part A, B, C, D and E have to be done in this way. For the teacher. Encourage children to look at the final picture in each pair and guess where the line of symmetry should be made on the original shape in the white box. Page 77. Half a turn. Once there was a king. He was upset because thieves kept stealing costly jewels from his locker. Here is what the locker looked like. Below this we see the picture of a big locker and some thieves standing around it. The locker could be opened by giving its handle half a turn. Another half turn and the locker would be locked again. The king would often leave the locker open, thinking it was locked. Can you guess the reason? Below this we see the picture of the king looking a little puzzled, because on the left and right side of that picture we see the picture of the locker in open and locked positions. Page 78. One day his clever daughter gave him an idea which he liked very much. Now he never got confused. Can you guess what the idea was? The king's daughter asked the king to put a dot on one of the yellow blades. On the right side of the page we have the picture. The top picture shows the daughter giving the idea to the king which he seemingly likes. Below that is the idea being implemented. The dot on the yellow blades now indicates the position of the locker, either open or locked. The king had many such lockers with different handles. Check if, on giving them half a turn, he can get confused with these two. Below this we see the king with many more lockers and how he could do something with their different handles. What will you do to solve the problem for each of these? Same after half turn. Guess which of the shapes below would look the same after half a turn. There are 7 different shapes shown below, and you have to tell which of them would look exactly the same even after half a turn. For the teacher. The focus of the exercise following the story on the next page is to 1. Break the symmetry of the figures. 2. Recreate the symmetry in the same figure. Page 79. Do you find it difficult to tell? If yes, then there is a way to check your guess. Here's how you can do it. Take any of the shapes, trace its outline on a sheet of paper. Now keep the shape on its outline and give it a half turn. See if the shape fits its outline. Below this we see the picture of a girl doing the same exercise. She has taken a shape, she traced its outline on a sheet of paper, and now she is keeping the shape on its outline and giving it half a turn. This way she will find out if the shape fits its outline.
Part 1.
Chapter CIET NCERT presents Audiobook of Mathematics for Class 5 entitled MATHMAGIC 5. This is the Chapter 5.
Part 2.
Page 79. Practice time. 1. Find out which letters in the English alphabet look the same after half a turn. We have some letters from the English alphabet placed around the questions. 2. Which of these English words reads the same on half a turn? Zoom, mow, swims, sis, noon. 3. Give half a turn to the numbers from 0 to 9. Find which of them still looks the same. 4. Think of all 2, 3 and 4-digit numbers which look the same on half a turn. Example: 2-digit numbers 11, dash, dash. 3-digit numbers 101, 111, dash, 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 dash. 4-digit numbers 1001, 1111, dash, 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 dash. Page 80. 5. Which among the given pictures will look the same on half a turn? Below this we have many pictures. You are supposed to use your brain and find out which of them will look the same on half a turn. Remember the line of symmetry. Activity time. Have you ever seen a windmill? What is it used for? Let us make a toy windmill. 1. Take a sheet of paper. 2. Fold it as shown in the picture. 3. Cut out the blue part of the paper. Your sheet of paper will now look like a square. We have this exercise being demonstrated by the use of some pictures. A paper sheet is drawn, which is then folded, and we see the blue part which is supposed to be cut out. Finally, the sheet of paper will look like a square given below. Page 81. 4. Fold it along the red lines and then open the fold. Draw a circle on the sheet as shown in the picture. 5. Cut along the red lines till you reach the circle. The paper will look like this. The picture demonstrates. 6. Take a pin and make holes on the 4 corners as shown in the picture. We see 4 pinholes made on the picture. 7. Now fold the corners such that all the holes lie one on top of the other. The same has been done and demonstrated with the help of pictures. 8. Pass the pin through the holes and fix it in the stick. We see this being done, and a girl is now holding and running with her paper windmill. Your windmill is ready. Run with it and see how fast it moves. Does your windmill look the same on 1/4 of a turn? Does it look the same on half a turn? Discuss. 1/4 turn. Does the fan look the same on 1/4 turn? We have two pictures of the fan, the first one before turning it, the second one after 1/4 turn. Also, we have the picture of a boy surrounding this question doing the 1/4 turn in many possible ways from different starting positions. Page 82. Will this fan also look the same after 1/4 turn? Draw in the yellow box. We see the picture of a fan in a blue box, and this is before turning it. Next to it, there is a yellow box which is blank, and you have to draw the fan after 1/4 turn. Practice time. A. Among the given shapes, find out which ones would look the same after 1/4 turn. Put a tick mark. Put a cross on the shapes that will not look the same after half a turn. Below this we have two different pictures with many shapes in each of them. You have to guess and give the correct answers. Page 83. We have the picture of a bus drawn here which has different shapes being shown, starting from 3 and going all the way to 8. Again, you have to see and find out which ones would look the same after 1/4 turn, put a tick mark, and the ones which will not look the same after half a turn, for them you have to put a cross on the shapes. B. We have the collage of different shapes given below, and the question is, try and change the shapes in such a way that the new shape remains the same on giving it half a turn. Page 84. C. Draw what the following shapes would look like on 1/4 turn and half a turn. There is a table given here with 3 columns. The first column has 4 different shapes marked as A, B, C, and D. The second column says how the shapes would look after. The second column would tell how the shape would look on 1/4 turn, and the third column tells us how the shape would look on half turn. Which of the above shapes do not look the same on 1/4 turn? Which shapes do not look the same on half a turn? Given below we have 2 fans. They are identical except for the color of one of the blades in the second one. The question is, which fan will look the same on a 1/3 turn? We have a triangle in red with another smaller triangle in color white drawn on it. There is a blank box next to it. The question is, draw this shape after 1/3 turn. And that box is to be filled with that shape after 1/3 turn. Page 85. 1/6 turn. Can you see that this shape looks the same on 1/6 turn? There is a hexagon shown on the top right corner of the page with 6 dotted lines going through all of the corners, indicating 1/6 of turns. Again, in the main big picture below the question, we see a hexagon drawn on a central big picture. A boy and a girl are looking and observing how the shape will look like on 1/6 turn. Practice time. 1. Look at the following shapes. Draw how they will look on 1/3 and 1/6 turn. There is a table given below with 3 columns. The first one has the different shapes. The second column tells us how they will look on 1/3 turn, and the third column is about how they will look on 1/6 turn. For the teacher, encourage children to look at the figure and see what kind of a symmetry is there. If they need, they can draw 6 lines to see how to rotate a figure through 1/6 turn. They should also be able to see that a figure which looks the same on 1/6 turn will also look the same on 1/3 turn, which is the same as 2 1/6 turns. Page 86. 2. Look at the following shapes. We have many different shapes here. Question of part A says, find out which of these figures look the same on 1/3 turn. Mark them with tick mark. B part says, which are the ones that will not look the same after 1/3 turn? Mark them with cross. Part C says, try and change the shapes below in such a way that they look the same on 1/3 turn. And below the question we have again 5 different shapes, and you have to try and change them in such a way that they look the same on 1/3 turn. 3. Draw some shapes which will look the same after 1/3 turn. 4. Draw some shapes which will look the same after 1/6 turn.
Part 2.
Chapter